Like Warren Buffett, 95, is quitting as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. Greg Abel takes over. End of an era.
Today isn't just the last day of 2025, it is also Warren Buffett's last day as the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. The 95-year-old has served as the CEO for 60 straight years, and he announced his retirement earlier this spring. The famed investor has spent much of his life among the top 10 richest people in the world. And according to Bloomberg, he has racked up a net worth of around $150 billion. Buffett will remain as chairman. Greg Abel, who is the vice chairman of non-insurance corporations of Berkshire, and he will take over the reins as CEO.
Like, China encircled Taiwan in military drills as she vowed to unify Taiwan with China.
Chinese President Xi Jinping has renewed calls for unification with Taiwan in his New Year address. The comments come after days of Chinese live fire exercises around Taiwan. The military drills forced Taiwan to cancel dozens of domestic flights and dispatch jets and warships to monitor. Taiwan has rejected the mainland's claims that it's part of territorial China. President Xi says he believes reunification is inevitable.
Compatriots on both sides of the Taiwan Strait are bound by blood ties thicker than water, and the historical trend towards national reunification is unstoppable.
Like, Big Bully USA has attacked Venezuela. Terrible. Nobel Peace Prize in pieces.
The United States hit Venezuela with a large-scale strike early Saturday and said its president, Nicolas Maduro, had been captured and flown out of the country. Here's what to know. Maduro's government immediately accused the US of an imperialist attack on civilian and military installations. US President Donald Trump posted on Truth Social that Maduro had been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. He added that the operation was done in conjunction with US law enforcement. The apparent attack itself lasted less than 30 minutes. Trump said in his social media post that the strike was carried out successfully.
Like, Trump threatened to intervene if Iran fired on innocent protesters. Iran's advisor to Khomeini, Ali Shamkhar, threatened to sever interfering hand.
The president saying, quote, if Iran shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters, the U.S. will come to their rescue. He added, we are locked and loaded and ready to go. The president is referring to recent economic protests in Iran that have been growing and have turned deadly. The senior Iranian government advisor today responding to Trump, saying that the U.S. interference in this internal matter would mean destabilizing the entire region and destroying America's interests, adding the American people should be mindful of their soldiers' safety.
Zohran Mamdani becomes New York City's first Muslim mayor. Zohran Mamdani was sworn in as New York City's mayor just after midnight in a historic ceremony at a decommissioned Manhattan subway station. Making history as the first Muslim to lead the United States' largest city, Mamdani took his oath with his hand placed on a Quran. This is truly the honor and the privilege of a lifetime, Mamdani said in a brief speech.
New York has a new mayor for 2026. Zohran Mamdani chose a symbolic location for the ceremony, one that highlighted a pillar of his campaign.
This is truly the honor and the privilege of a lifetime. And after just having taken my oath to become the mayor of the city of New York, I do so also here in the old City Hall subway station, a testament to the importance of public transit, to the vitality, the health, and the legacy of our city.
Mamdani was born in Uganda to Indian parents. He moved to New York when he was 7 years old. His multicultural background is similar to many in the city. He became a naturalized American citizen in 2018 and tried his luck as a rapper and a cricket player before getting into politics. Mamdani is the city's first Muslim mayor. Politically, he's a socialist who wants an equitable climate transition. He campaigned for measures to protect the vulnerable. In one of the most expensive cities in the world, he's calling for rent control, a free bus service, and free nursery places for all. In November, Mamdani met Donald Trump. Both sides traded insults in the lead-up to the meeting, so many expected a tense encounter. But instead, the two New Yorkers appeared at ease and struck a cooperative tone, pledging to work together for the city's future.
You are watching Sanglikar's Weekly. US influencer Andrew Branca triggered a row by mocking Indian origin Prashant Shrikumar's death in a Canadian hospital, calling him an Indian invader. The US influencer said Prashant Shrikumar could have stayed in Mumbai. In a post responding to the news of the death of Shrikumar in a Canadian hospital, Branca added, "I note that she and her husband could have easily avoided the shitty Canadian healthcare by staying in Mumbai and enjoying the shitty Indian healthcare," sharing a graph on net immigration to Canada from 1950 to 2025, without citing a source. Shrikumar was admitted to Grey Nuns Community Hospital in Edmonton on 22 December, after he experienced severe chest pain at work. His family said hospital staff, despite his condition, told them ECG results showed no major problem and asked them to wait. He was given Tylenol, but his blood pressure continued to rise. Although nurses tried to revive him, he later died. But why lament about how others treat us? Indians never respect their country, even question when asked to sing or stand for the national anthem, and behave shitty when in their own country. No wonder they are meted the same treatment elsewhere. It looks like end of Ukraine war is in sight. Zelensky wants security cover for 50 years, but Trump is offering 15. Trump called US envoy to Ukraine an idiot. Ukraine-Russia war. No signs of peace. Trump on attempted strike on President Putin's residence.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not good. I heard about it this morning. You know who told me about it? President Putin told me about it. Early in the morning he said he was attacked. That's no good. It's no good. Don't forget, the Tomahawks. I stopped the Tomahawks. I didn't want that. Because we're talking about, it's a delicate period of time. This is not the right time. It's one thing to be offensive, because they were offensive. It's another thing to attack his house. It's not the right time to do any of that.
No ceasefire, says Putin. Trump says that if talks fail, they keep fighting and they keep dying. Trump says that Putin has not agreed to a ceasefire for any referendum, saying Moscow fears stopping and then restarting the fighting would only allow Ukraine to regroup and rearm. Zelensky notes that millions of Ukrainian refugees abroad should have the right to vote in a future referendum. Trump adds that if talks fail, they keep fighting and they keep dying, something neither he nor Putin nor Zelensky claims to want.
Not a ceasefire, and that's one of the points that we're working on right now. No, not a ceasefire. He feels that, look, they're fighting and to stop, and then if they have to start again, which is a possibility, he doesn't want to be in that position. I understand that position.
President Trump, I know you sound an optimistic note here, but What happens in a few weeks if things sputter? What are you prepared to do?
They keep fighting, and they keep dying. No good. But if things don't happen, they keep fighting, and they keep dying. And we don't want that to happen. He doesn't want it to happen. President Putin doesn't want it to happen either.
Trump says Putin has not agreed to a ceasefire for any referendum in Ukraine, but adds that Russia has agreed to help post-war reconstruction and wants to see Ukraine succeed. Zelensky stresses that millions of Ukrainians abroad should have voting rights in a future referendum. Trump warns that if talks fail, they keep fighting and they keep dying, something he insists neither side wants.
They're going to be helping. Russia's going to be helping. Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed. Once, it sounds a little strange, but I was explaining to the president, President Putin was very generous in his feeling toward Ukraine succeeding, including supplying energy, electricity, and other things at very low prices. So a lot of good things came out of that call today. But they were in the works for 2 weeks with Steve and with Jared and Marco and everybody.
Russia releases chilling video of Ukrainian drone strikes on Putin's home.
The United States and Russia are still talking about a peace deal with Ukraine, but Russian President Vladimir Putin has put a dent in those negotiations, claiming Ukraine launched drones at one of his residences. The Kremlin says it will respond. Here's how Donald Trump responded to Putin's claim.
It's one thing to be offensive, because they were offensive. It's another thing to attack his house. It's not the right time to do any of that, and can't do it. And I learned about it from President Putin today. I was very angry about it.
Well, the Ukrainian president denied that Ukrainian armed forces attacked the home in the Novgorod region of Russia of the Russian President Vladimir Putin. But Moscow's foreign minister says that is exactly what did happen. All incoming Ukrainian drones were shot down, but as a result, the Kremlin's negotiating position will now change, and that targets have been selected inside Ukraine for retaliatory strikes, possibly including government buildings, according to the Ukrainian presidency.
Hopes of peace recedes. Back to square one. U.S. intelligence rejects Russian claim of Ukraine drone plot on Putin.
The CIA has turned down Moscow's claim that Ukraine tried to attack Russian President Vladimir Putin's residence earlier this week. U.S. officials said CIA Director John Ratcliffe briefed President Donald Trump on the assessment on Wednesday. Russia had publicly accused Ukraine of trying to strike Putin's home on Monday, and Trump told reporters that Putin did mention it to him during a phone call, and that Trump said he was troubled by the claim and seemed to accept it at first. Now, Srinjoy continues to be with us on the broadcast. Ukraine has denied any such involvement. CIA's assessment also suggests now that there is no such evidence of any attempted attack on Putin's residence.
This is one of those fog of war moments, because the Russians say that yes, there was an attack, and about 80 or more drones, armed drones, hit what was Putin's residence in Novgorod, or tried to, and all of them were shot down. On the other hand, the Ukrainians and President Zelensky himself says that this is absolutely untrue. So now the CIA has looked at the whole issue, and the CIA report apparently says that there was no attack. So
कौन सच्चा है और कौन झूठा है?
Like Pakistan President Zardari said he hid in a bunker during Operation Sindoor. Not surprising.
The Pakistan president has made a big admission regarding Operation Sindoor. He has said he was advised to hide in a bunker during the Operation Sindoor, during hostilities between India and Pakistan. This is Asif Ali Zardari says that he was told to take shelter in a bunker, which actually goes to show that the fear in Pakistan was very real. India's retaliation given after during Operation Sindoor that took place. So President Zardari there admitting that he was the fear there was very real. He was asked and advised to go into a bunker during the 4-day hostility between India and Pakistan during Operation Sindoor.
Like Pakistan's Supreme Court has ordered demolition of Madina Masjid in Karachi. It's illegal, said Pakistan SC.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कराची में पार्क की जमीन पर बनी मसाजिद, मज़ार और कब्रिस्तान को शहीद करने का हुक्म दे दिया। तारिक रोड पार्क पर मदीना मस्जिद और दीगर तजावुज़ात के खिलाफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट में केस की समाअत हुई। चीफ जस्टिस गुलजार अहमद ने बरहमी का इजहार किया और सिंध के वुज़रा के लिए सवालात खड़े कर दिए कि अब तक शहर से तजावुज़ात का खात्मा क्यों नहीं हुआ। तारिक रोड पर मौजूद मदीना मस्जिद की इंतजामिया को जमीन वापस करने का हुक्म भी जारी कर दिया।
मस्जिद ये सर हमारे सामने बनी है, अल्लाह का घर है, हम तो नहीं चाहते कि ऐसा हो, अल्लाह ना करे, और होने भी नहीं देंगे इंशाअल्लाह ताला।
चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ पाकिस्तान ने कहा कि इस्लाम गैर कानूनी जमीन पर मस्जिद बनाने की इजाजत नहीं देता, ताहम मस्जिद इंतजामिया को जमीन वापस करनी होगी। पार्क की हुदूद से मज़ार और कब्रिस्तान खत्म करने का हुक्म भी जारी कर दिया। ताहम कराची में इंतजामी अफसरान के अहम इजलास में इस बात पर जोर दिया गया कि पार्क पर कायम मदरसा और दुकानें 2 दिन में मुनहदम करके पार्क बहाल कर दिया जाएगा।
Like South Korea's ex-First Lady Kim, he is accused of taking bribes in jewelry, hip handbags, etc. Her disgraced husband, ex-president, is already arrested.
Well, South Korea's former First Lady Kim Kyung-hee has been arrested on accusations of corruption, including stock manipulation. Her arrest marks a dramatic fall for the former first couple, with the ex-president and now First Lady both in jail, the first in South Korea's history. Yoon Suk-yeol was impeached and removed from office in April after he briefly imposed martial law and triggered a constitutional crisis. It prompted the country to hold a snap election in June.
Like France is mulling social media ban for kids. A welcome move.
On to France now. In a major move, the country is planning to ban children under 15 from social media platforms and to prohibit mobile phones in high schools from September 2026. The moves highlight growing public concern over the impact of online harms on minors. According to French media reports, the government will submit draft legislation for legal review in early January itself. The president has repeatedly linked social media use to youth violence and has signalled his intent for France to follow Australia's ban on under-16s from major social media platforms. Macron did not refer to the legislative plan in his New Year's Eve address, but said France must protect children and teenagers from social media and excessive screen use. In fact, mobile phones have been banned in French primary and middle schools since 2018. The proposed changes would extend the ban to high schools for the first time. France also passed a law in 2023 requiring parental consent for under 15s to create social media accounts, although enforcement has faced technical difficulties. Macron has also called for action at the European Union level, pushing for a bloc-wide ban on social media access for under 15s. And the European Parliament has urged the setting of minimum age limits as concerns rise over adolescent mental health. Opinion polls suggest strong public support, with a 2024 survey showing nearly 3/4 of French respondents back a social media ban for under 15s.
Like, have you noticed that there is a striking similarity in the nightclub fire in Cranston, Montana, Switzerland that killed 47 and injured 119, and that in Goa nightclub? Switzerland fire. Around 40 people have died and a further 115 people are injured, some severely, after a fire ripped through a bar in a ski resort in southern Switzerland. The fire broke out at around 1:30 morning during New Year celebrations in a bar called La Constellation, in the luxury alpine ski resort town of Crans, Montana, during New Year celebrations, Swiss police said. Officials investigating the incident have not mentioned any cause, but categorically ruled out an attack. People from multiple countries have been affected. Regional Police Commander Frederick Gisela has said the priority in the coming days was to identify those who have died, so that their bodies can be returned rapidly to their families. Investigators are racing to determine what triggered the deadly New Year's fire inside La Constellation, a crowded bar in Switzerland's luxury ski resort of Crans, Montana. Authorities say the blaze erupted shortly after midnight and rapidly intensified into a flashover, a phenomenon in which extreme heat causes all combustible material in a room to ignite almost simultaneously. Prosecutors have ruled out terrorism and confirmed that no explosive device was involved, saying the explosion was a consequence of the fire, not its cause. But two French nationals, who said they were inside the bar, told French media they saw a waitress place a candle, or sparkler, on top of a champagne bottle during the celebration. According to their account, one of the flames was held too close to the ceiling, which they said ignited within seconds. A 7.0 magnitude earthquake hits Taiwan.
Meanwhile, a magnitude 7 earthquake has been recorded off Taiwan's northeast coast. Data showed it was at a depth of 73 kilometres in Yilan City. It was also felt in the capital, Taipei, but no immediate damage was reported. It's the second major quake to strike the island in a week.
Believe it or not, Denmark has shut down postal service. Sad end after 400 years.
The number of letters sent in Denmark has collapsed by more than 90% in the last 25 years.
I think it's such a pity. Normally there were about 25-30 cards every year, but last year there was only 2 cards.
All of the red post boxes in her region have been removed. Sending a standard letter costs nearly $8, and for many Danes, that sealed their fate. For PostNord 2, letters have simply become too expensive to handle.
These 2 post boxes will be the last to be removed in Denmark, turned into museum exhibits marking the end of an era.
French actress Brigitte Bardot, who defined sex symbolism, died at 91.
She was just 22 when the gorgeous Brigitte Bardot became a global sex symbol. The French beauty oozed sexuality in her role as a sexually liberated woman in the movie And God Created Woman. Bardot's beauty and glamour ushered in a new age of sexual liberation. She was also credited with making the bikini a worldwide sensation. After starring in more than 40 films, Bardot suddenly disappeared from the movie industry at age 39 and set out to devote the rest of her life to animal rights. In her later decades, she mired herself in far-right politics and spoke out against Muslim immigration. She also made headlines when she called the Me Too movement hypocritical, ridiculous, and uninteresting. Despite the controversies in her later years, Brigitte Bardot will always be remembered as the blonde bombshell for the ages.
Lazy Bee. The 3rd of January, 2026.